Hi everyone. Today we're going to learn about methods, parameters, and return methods. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to comment out the code for the section we did last time. I'm going to press Alt Q, and then I'm going to zoom in and write down my notes. So what are methods? Um, Methods are a group of code written to perform a task. Um, parameters are parameters are values that can be used to that can be used in a method. And return methods are um are um are methods that must return a value. So we're going to go over these three things. Um, for parameters, there's pass by value, and there's pass by reference. Let's see. Let's write down an example of a method. Let's start with void method 1. Now you can write down console dot write line and calling method 1. Now if you run this program, there might be nothing showing up. And yep, because a method doesn't execute immediately. A method must be called. So a method must be called in order to execute its codes. So in order to call a method, this is what you do. You just write down the method name and then add a parentheses. And that's how you call a method. Now, if you run this program again, you see calling method 1. So that's the statements inside of method 1. And that's what the task is doing. The task wants us to do in method 1. It's just to display calling method 1 into the console. Now, a method with a parameter, let's say string, okay, this is method 2. Now, if we want to call method 2 with a parameter, we can call it the same way as method 1 as long as method 2 is set to a value. This is the parameter in method 2 set to a value. Otherwise, when we call method 2, we have to put in a parameter for a a value for the parameters of method 2. And since method 2 is a string, we have to use a string. And let's write down test. And here test gets called. Test gets output into the console. And you can use methods multiple times. And you can change this value, and each time it'll display a different value. Now, I'm going to add a variable. Let's do console dot write line pass by value. Let's say we're going to use a string reference string equals a value. If we pass this string by reference string by value, the reference string will not be changed when we change the variable name. So the variable name is equal to, we're going to set it to equal to a new value, because the variable's name is going to, you would think that the variable name is going to take the place of the reference string, but it's not. So when you debug the program, when you write down console.writeLine and debug the program, a value is still going to display. It's not going to display a new value. That's because the reference string is passed by value. Okay, so pass by value does not change a variable value. So a reference variable's value. When you pass a variable by reference, which is going to require us to write down ref. When you pass a variable by reference, the value is going to change along with the with the variable. The value of the variable is going to change when it's changed inside of the method when you pass a variable by reference. So pass a variable by reference changes a variable, can be changed in a method. So if we were to write down console.writeLine again, and if you were to write down console.writeLine, since the variable, the reference variable name has, the variable name has taken the place of the reference string, because the reference string has been passed by reference, and it's been assigned a new value. The variable name has been, since the variable name has been assigned a new value, the reference string is going to be assigned a new value inside a new value. So let's run this program, debug it, and you can see a new value has been printed out. So first it prints out a value and then a new value. That's because the value has been changed inside of the method. And I think this is it for today. Thank you for watching. And oh, hold on. I'm going to teach you about return methods. So a return methods require a data type, say string, or return method, and it's written the same way as a regular method, but it must has a return value, and the return value must be the same thing as the data type that's been used in it, which is a string. Return value. And for the methods, you can have multiple parameters, so you can have two as many parameters as you like. So it's not limited to one parameter. So for return methods, it's going to return a value, and we want it to return a value, and we're just going to call that value a value. Return a value. So this is our value. Return a value. When you write down console.writeLine, you can write down return method, and it can be used directly inside of WriteLine because it's going to return a value. It's not like void. If you were to write a void method inside of a WriteLine, it'll show up as an error. So a return method, you can write it down inside of a of the console.writeLine. Let's debug the program. And here you can see our value is returned as return a value, which is down here. So all it does is it's going to return a value, and you can write down conditional statements. You can write down conditional statements and see which values that's going to get returned, or loops and calculations. Now method names are usually named starting with verbs, because methods are used to perform a task, and performing something usually starts with verbs. And this is it. This is all I have about methods, parameters, and return methods. Thank you for watching.